The ground beneath your feet feels solid, familiar, and still, but below it is not emptiness. There is no sunlight, no sky, no day or night, only darkness, slow time, and a world that never existed for us. The surface is our stage. The underground is Earth's true body. Of Earth's total volume, humans inhabit only a thin skin. A few meters down lies soil and roots. Below that, rock, fractures, underground rivers. Deeper still, pressure, heat, and irreversible forces. This is not another place. It is the same planet, in a different state of being. We once believed life required sunlight, but beneath the surface, that rule is broken. Kilometers below, microbes feed on chemical energy from rock. They do not breathe oxygen. They do not chase light. Their sense of time spans centuries, even millennia. Here, life is not abundant. It is resilient. Water does not vanish underground. It moves slowly through fractures and caverns, sculpting landscapes invisible from the surface. Stalactites are water's diaries. Each drop writes a line of time. Some caves are older than civilization itself, yet they continue to grow in silence. Earth is never truly silent. Its sounds are simply too deep to hear. Rocks shift under pressure. Plates grind beneath continents. Molten material churns slowly within the mantle. An earthquake is not the beginning of disaster. It is a small breath of the planet. Metals, fuels, rare elements, the materials that power civilization come from below. We dig, drill, extract, turning billions of years of geology into decades of progress. The cities above ground are built upon sacrifices beneath them. To the underground, humans are not masters, only temporary visitors. When we are gone, the crust will still move. Water will still flow below. Life in darkness will continue. The world beneath the surface does not need to be seen to exist. You return to the surface, sunlight touches your face, but now you know. Beneath your feet there is another world, silent, ancient, slow, yet it supports everything you know. The deepest human drillings barely scratch the crust. Below that, temperature rises sharply, pressure multiplies, steel bends, instruments fail, even language loses meaning. Depth is not a distance. Depth is a boundary drawn by Earth. Beneath the crust lies the mantle, neither liquid nor solid, but something in between. It flows only centimeters per year, slower than fingernails grow. Yet over millions of years, it tears continents apart, raises mountains, and swallows oceans. Here, time is the true force. Volcanoes are not just eruptions, they are messages from below. Each eruption redistributes Earth's internal energy. Lava is not only destruction, it is the beginning of new land. Some of the ground beneath you was once part of the underground world. The surface erodes, rewrites, forgets. But the underground remembers. Layers of rock are sealed pages, recording ancient oceans, lost atmospheres, and worlds that no longer exist. We are not studying rocks. We are reading time. Where there is no light, direction is no longer visual. Underground life navigates through vibrations, chemistry, and magnetic fields. Their perception of reality is entirely different from ours. To them, darkness is not absence. It is normal. We begin to wonder if the future should be hidden underground. Data centers, energy storage, cities, shelters. In an unstable world above, the underground seems safe and constant. But Earth does not pause for humanity. Its rhythm never changes. If humans vanished from the surface one day, the underground would barely notice. Mines would flood, tunnels would collapse, concrete would return to minerals. The underground would heal itself, as it always has. You are still standing on the surface, breathing air, looking at the sky. But now you know the world beneath you is deeper, older, and more real than you imagined. Beneath the surface is not emptiness. It is Earth itself. You stand on the surface and feel no weight. Yet the sky above and tens of kilometers of rock below press upon you together. The underground carries everything, including the weight of civilization. On the surface, time is divided into seconds, minutes, years. Underground time has no units. Rocks do not remember yesterday, only whether pressure has changed. Here, waiting is not an action, it is a state. Imagine you could keep going down, without fear, without limits. Light would vanish first. Sound would dull. Orientation would dissolve. You would realize the world does not suddenly end. It simply stops being designed for you. Humans often imagine the underground as a place of punishment, dark, crushing, dangerous. But to Earth, the underground is simply normal. Not punishment, not abnormal, just not meant for us. Some things are deliberately buried underground. Nuclear waste, memories, dangers, evidence. We hope future humans never uncover them, yet we must leave warnings behind. It is a contradiction and a gamble against time. Underground, there is no human language, no stories, no explanations, no narration, only existence itself. If no one describes the world still exists. You think you live on Earth, but in truth you live on its surface. Like foam on the sea, like dust on stone. The real Earth is beneath you. When this narration ends, the underground does not change. It does not need to be understood, feared, or remembered. It simply continues. Here there is no weight, only pressure. Pressure is not a threat, it is a rule. Everything rearranges itself, not by choice, but by necessity. On the surface, rock is rigid. Underground, rock flows not by breaking, but by changing shape. Given enough time, nothing remains solid. At this depth, up and down lose meaning. There is no forward, no return, only matter yielding and pressing against matter. Direction is a surface concept. There is no sound here, but nothing is absent. Atoms vibrate, minerals reorganize, energy transfers. Silence is only our inability to hear. Mountains are never born violently. They emerge through hesitation, a decision stretched over tens of millions of years. Underground, nothing happens suddenly. Here things have no names, no categories, no meanings. They simply exist and influence one another. Naming is a surface habit. At this depth, humans are no longer considered, not rejected, simply ignored. Earth is not hostile toward you, it is indifferent. Eventually, everything from the surface returns here. Buildings become fragments. Metals return to minerals. Stories lose their language. The underground is a recycler and a beginning. The surface appears to be the whole world, but it is Earth's most temporary layer. What truly endures has never lived in sunlight. On the surface, words are light. They can be spoken, discarded, forgotten. Underground, every word feels excessive. Rock needs no description. Pressure needs no explanation. Speed loses meaning here. So does distance. Fast and slow are human categories of anxiety. Underground, there is only whether change occurs. If you still try to keep yourself, you are still on the surface. Go deeper and boundaries begin to fade, not death, dissolution. At this level, there are no events, no beginnings, no endings, only continuity of states. Earth is never impatient. It requires no outcome, it requires only time, and time never fails to arrive. Before you were born, your elements were already waiting underground. After you are gone, they will return again. You are not a first arrival, nor a final one. When the sky appears again on screen, you may think you have returned, but you cannot carry the underground's rhythm with you. You can only remember it briefly. Life on the surface is itself an illusion. This film has no true ending, because the underground never stops. When the sound fades, it continues to move. When you turn off the screen, it continues becoming the future. At this depth, nothing needs to be seen, no eyes, no attention. Existence does not depend on observation. Rock never rushes to become something else. It knows time stands with it. All shapes are temporary pauses. There is no center here, no importance. Every point of pressure is equally real. A center is something only observers require. Scale collapses here. Small and vast are illusions of proportion. Atoms and mountains before time are not fundamentally different. At the deepest level, there is no resistance, no opposition, no struggle, only ways of existing that obey physical law. You think you have disappeared, but you have not. You have only stopped being distinguished. Sight, sound, language begin to feel distant, not because they lack importance, but because they do not endure. True depth is not distance. It is the moment you stop explaining. No conclusion is required. No understanding is necessary. Beneath the surface, it has always been this way. Before you, after you,